Coach, you were the head coach of the All-Star Game, and how much of an honor is that?
It's a huge honor. There's been a lot of great players and coaches come through the Alaska Baseball League over the years, and to be named the All-Star skipper, and this is the second year in a row, and it was it's a really big honor.
You actually get a closer look at all the talent in this league and all the skills these guys have. Anybody sort of stick out the most?
It was cool to be around Veers from the Pilots, Taylor from the Pilots. Those guys are both really good baseball players. Get to see Pollux from the Chinooks. I think he's a pretty good player as well. And it's fun to be around the different players from the different teams and just to talk with them and joke with them and give them a hard time about how well they do against us and things like that. So it's a lot of fun. It's a great social day.
And you had 11 of your own players representing the National League in the All-Star Game, including Matthew Decker, who took part in the Home Run Derby. Tell me about that. How was it having those guys
in the
lineup?
It's fun. To be so well represented, and those guys were all super deserving, and choosing the team was really difficult, and we're just really proud of all our guys for their honors.
And now moving away from the All-Star Game, your pitching in the last week has probably been the best it's really been all summer, including Ryan Hendricks last night went 7 innings and didn't walk anybody. He hit a batter, but really in his last 22 innings pitched, he has only given up 1 earned run.
Yeah, well, a lot of that has to do with my pitching coach, with Brad Baker. I mean, Bake's about 3 times through the rotation now. We've been really, really solid. And the back of the bullpen's tightened up, and he's done a really good job coordinating those guys and getting everybody on page, and he's getting a lot out of those guys. And if you ever wanted your guys to round into form, this is the time of year to be doing it. So it's good.
And one of the issues for the pitching staff has been walks, the control. You've given up the most walks in the league for the majority of the season, and last week with Tyler Stubblefield, Sevi Romo, Ryan Hendricks, and John Ferrandelli, your staff just gave up 7 walks in those 30 innings when those guys started.
Well, we might walk a lot of guys, but we also throw more fastballs over 92 miles an hour than anybody else in this league, too. So, you're going to have to take some good with the bad. You got some wild Colts that, you kind of tighten those guys up, and then all of a sudden you've got something really special. So, it was more tiresome than a concern because we knew, at the end of the day, talent figures it out. And we knew we had the right talent and these guys were going to clean some things up. So,
it's something you had said on July 1st when you were playing the Pilots after the game. You had said, hey, July is here and this is the time when you find out if you're a pretender or a contender. And you guys have really played well in the month of July.
Yeah, we've done a good job, and July's not over yet, and we're contenders right now, and we got a ways to go. There's a few more days left in July.
And moving with the bats, Cameron Frost seemed to really, really heat things up in the field, on the base paths, and with the bat. Well,
I think I'm probably going to jinx him, but I don't think there's been very many games where that guy hasn't gone on base all summer. The guy's a really good baseball player, and he's going to play for a long time when he gets done at Washington State. His best baseball is ahead of him. And, you look at he's been incredibly consistent for us, but if you look at the improvements he's made along the way, he's been fantastic.
And on the corner of your infield, Jordan Rogers at third base, the bats really stepped it up. He hits well with men on, and he's really hit well in conference play, just under 300.
You know what? Every year I have a guy, this is 9 summers, every year I have a guy that maybe is a throw-in or a guy that we're not maybe expecting huge things from, or an unceremonial guy, or whatever you want to call it. And Jordan's been that guy. He's as good of a defensive third baseman as there is in the league. I think he's only got 3 or 4 errors all summer. He's anchored the bottom of the lineup, which is huge for us, and he plays really hard. And that kid works. He works, and he's improved, and he wants to be a good baseball player. So he's been kind of a real big surprise for us this year, and it's been a lot of fun to see him develop.
And how important is the pitching aspect of the game, kind of for the confidence of the entire lineup and the whole game. It seems like when Tyler Stubblefield's on the mound, the whole infield's kind of in a good mood. They seem really relaxed, and Ryan Hendricks seemed very confident, and the whole team seemed confident yesterday after the Chinooks, came in with a 5-game win streak. So how important is it to, start off strong with the pitching?
Well, it's important. I mean, it sets the tone. I mean, when guys throw strikes and work quick, everybody keeps, stays on their toes. And, I mean, it's important, but it's really easy to make things out to be bigger than they really are. I mean, it's never as good and it's never as bad. I mean, catching ground balls and moving runners is just as important as, striking guys out or getting a double play ball here and there. So it's baseball.
And kind of talking about Josh Meyer, catching, it goes kind of hand in hand with the pitching, just calling these great games. And he's really seemed to progress over the summer.
Yeah, I mean, that guy's got big presence. And I've said, in interviews before, I mean, we ask a lot of him. He hits in the 4-hole and to catch like he does. And, he has a good rapport with the pitching staff. And, they really like him. And he does a real good job for us. And I'm proud of him.
And Paul Panachone, your leadoff batter, as you said, the best shortstop in the league, was in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Has seemed to kind of have been in a little bit of a skid, but still able to get on base.
You know what? I wish I could be on a skid and be hitting 290 in the Alaska Baseball League. I mean, that guy is steady as she goes. We've been around him a lot, so we can kind of sort of tell when he's a little frustrated or when he's happy. But he's the same guy every single day, and he goes about his business the same way every day. And he's really professional, and he's our rock. He's the cornerstone of what goes on around here, and he's great to have.
And going into the last week and a half of the season, kind of neck and neck with the Pilots, trying to win out the league. What's kind of the mindset? Is it just game to game?
Game to game. Win the games. That's all we can do. Win the games that we're playing. Move the runner when the runner needs to be moved. Score the runner from third base when we get a guy at third base. Punch a guy out when we need a punch out. Turn a double play when we need a double play. It's baseball.
All right, Coach. Thank you and good luck this week.
Thanks, guys.